You gotta go on.
How you know? Feel what? Oh, yeah. Let me see that shit.
Washington, D.C. is a weird place with a lot of weird symbols. With that being said, Washington, D.C. has a lot of monuments with symbols in it. Today, we'll be talking about 3 of them.
The first public memorial to United States President Abraham Lincoln in Washington, D.C. was a statue by Lot Flannery erected in front of the District of Columbia City Hall in 1868, 3 years after the Lincoln's assassination. Demands for a fitting national memorial had been voiced since the time of Lincoln's death. At the Lincoln Memorial, Lincoln statue has one open hand that represents freedom and a fist that represents fascist regimes or a nation torn apart by war. This means that one hand open and the other is closed, as stated in the book.
The Washington Monument was built by Robert Mills and Thomas Lincoln, and the first half was built by Mills. Mills used slaves to build the monument, and while using a special type of marble, and did most of his building privately from 1848 to 1854. The production halted because of the Civil War, and then picked up construction back in 1876 and 1884, headed by Thomas publicly, and could not find the same type of marbles that Mills used, so they used stone instead, and is now the largest building in Washington, D.C., sitting at 169 meters, and the world's largest stone structure, sitting at, again, 169. In the book, they suspect there is to be a secret message hidden in the top of the structure, making this not only an obelisk, but also pirate booty.
The construction for the U.S. Capitol building started in 1793 and was officially opened to the public in the year 1800. The columns on the outside of the building were inspired by ancient Greek-style pillars. The U.S. Capitol was built for the use of Congress after the U.S. Capitol was burned by invading British troops during the War of 1812. It stood on part of the site now occupied by the Supreme Court building. Congress occupied the old brick Capitol between 1815 and 1819, while the Capitol was being rebuilt. A fun fact about the Capitol building is that it has more than 540 rooms and more than 658 windows. The dome is 8,900,000 pounds of cast iron. As you enter, you will walk into a large open space room known as the Rotunda. This is an important setting in the book where we read about Peter Solomon's hand.
The Jefferson Memorial was built in 1945 by John Russell Pope, and the bronze statue of him was added 4 years later. The neoclassical building sits on the west bank of the Potomac River. It sits directly south of the White House, and Jefferson is looking right at the White House to represent the Age of Enlightenment. The statue is 19 feet tall, and it's holding the Declaration of Independence in his hand. The Jefferson Memorial was first supposed to be a memorial for Theodore Roosevelt, but later was changed for Jefferson. It relates to the book because the roof, or rotunda, is said to have a secret treasure inside.